Lieutenant Kirillov, Kowalski here. I need you to escort the Major.
Major, the mercenaries are in position.
This is Call of Pripyat, Day 12. Today is Tuesday, August 14th, 2012. Our final day in the zone. We will conclude our investigation not long after exploring the X-8 lab beneath Pripyat. Helicopters will arrive for extraction, and our mission will be complete.
I'm guessing the one by the main entrance is their leader. Look, there's another group. Let's see which one of them is the messenger. The targets are by the main entrance. Second target eliminated.
Погано. Короче, слушайте. Поймали, значит, старого сталкера и допрашивают. Люди говорят, у вас автомат есть. Брешут люди. Люди говорят, у вас пулемет есть. Брешут люди. Люди говорят, у вас танки есть. А вот чего нет, того нет. Ну ты да. Я так чувствую, с 5 килограммов я уже тут того. Знал бы, что так обернется, просто слабостью вперед. А пусть вы и разжаловали мне похрен. Среди людей зато. Они здесь. Кто не этой проклятый. У нас во взводе один был, так тот как отмочит. Вот, например. Дрючит, короче, командир блокпоста срочника по уставу караульной службы. Слушай сюда, Иванов. Стоишь ты, значит, на посту ночью. Вдруг видишь, к тебе что-то темное подползает. Твои действия. Так это... Берем его, братья! Лови гранату, враг монолита! Искореним врагов монолита!
to you, privately.
сейчас билетик дышат. Да. Нет, я бы нажал. Умники, ёпты. Страховка? Да на кой хрен она дала тебе эта страховка, когда их родители ничего? Родичам, что пробухали, да? Лучше бы на руку сразу выдавали. А если бросили нас вот так вот взяли и писали в невозвратное? Когда же отсюда захожу? Главное не дрейфить, да. Тогда сейчас у меня.
Major, we've got a serious problem. This operation has been getting more ridiculous every minute since the helicopters crashed. The men are dropping like flies. We've got no comms with HQ, and the situation just keeps getting worse. The evacuation choppers didn't show up again, and at this rate it won't be long before we lose control of the situation completely. We need to establish communications with HQ right now. Our communications expert believes that the signal is being jammed from somewhere close to us. He's working on getting the coordinates as we speak. I sent some of my men to check out a possible source of the interference, but they went missing, and their personal signals aren't registering. Major, one of your objectives is to establish communications with HQ. Given the situation we find ourselves in, this should be your priority from now on. Also, as a personal favor to me, please find my boys.
Накачивали на штабные, накачивали. Местные ага. А сами? Ты откуда посмотришь? Так некоторые штабные...
Base, I found one of your men. It looks like he blew himself up with a grenade. There are no signs of a firefight or any other evidence of him being attacked.
Kowalski here. Roger that, Major. Hey, I got good news. We finally acquired the exact coordinates of the source of interference. The signal is coming from the kindergarten building.
Is that really you? Well, I'll be. We were starting to think we'd never see our dock again. So what happened?
Well, it's a long story. I'll tell you another time.
Okay. Thanks for your help. By the way, the Colonel wants you to pay him a visit.
Thanks. I'll do that.
Also, Gary headed for Yanov's station to restock. He asked me to tell you that he won't be back for a few days.
Gotcha.
So, tell me, where were you?
You're not going to believe me anyway, but in a fridge. Wow, never heard that one before. A fridge, eh?
What fridge? Where did you find it?
Where did I find it? I'd like to see you find anything in my estate.
And what state would that be?
Not quite sure how to describe it.
Учтена каждая мелочь, матерь штабные.
I spoke to the HQ commander and reported the situation to him along with all the information that's been collected. There won't be any helicopter support for a while. He suggested that we fortify our position and await further orders. USS observers are currently at the HQ, so you'll be able to talk to your superiors soon enough.
Colonel, a radio signal has been detected, and its source is not far from the base. The transmission is encrypted, and I haven't been able to crack it yet.
Do you have the coordinates?
Yes, I have the coordinates, but the signal is intermittent, and it's moving.
Monolith again?
Вытяну. Зубами удержусь, а вытяну. Главное, с катушек не слететь. А то все коту под хвост.
The signal is back. Transmitting coordinates. The signal is gone. It's back. It's right next to you.
I don't see anyone.
It's close, and it's moving toward our base.
It's underground.
Major
Kowalski here. You better get back here. We need to prepare for possible attack. Bastards won't catch us with our pants down this time.
Да и хранить не будет чего.
Don't shoot. I'm headed to the main entrance.
Who are you?
Главное, сделать собираются в стае и нас кончать.
My name is Strelok.
You're the stalker who disabled the Scorcher?
Yes, but my plan didn't work. I came here to speak with your commanders. I have information that will allow the army to take control of the zone and destroy it.
An emission is starting.
Come, let's talk inside.
We've got a problem. Our choppers are crashing for reasons that we've not understood yet.
Until we work it out, there won't be any helicopter support. The only way to get to the borders of the zone is on foot.
The reasons are obvious. There are many anomalies in the air, especially in the center of the zone.
We had a map with the safe air corridor between anomalies, and the helicopters had emission protection systems.
That's odd. You're telling me you haven't noticed that anomalies move around after an emission. Some disappear, and new ones show up in different places, which makes your map of anomalies effectively useless.
So that's what it is.
What?
Emissions don't just follow one another. If you can scan the area and identify all the anomalies, the choppers will be able to collect us safely, provided they're dispatched right after an emission.
We must inform the HQ of this as soon as possible.
I'll contact my commanders right after the emission. Lieutenant, get him on the line as soon as you can.
Every time there's an emission, I get this splitting headache.
As long as the emission ain't killing you, I'd say that's pretty good going.
Говорят, эти твари по ночам стали на патрули нападать. Главное, днем между собой срутся, а ночью собираются в стаи и нас кончают. Вот, накачивали нас штабные, накачивали. Нет, ну ничего, хуже сталкеров, ага. А сами? Как отсюда посмотришь, так некоторые штабные суки мутантов за пояс запутали. Главное не тогда все живыми отсюда выберемся. Я так чувствую, 500 килограммов я уже того. разжаловали, мне похрен. Среди людей зато. Они здесь, в зоне этой проклятой.
It looks like the emission is over. Kirillov, contact HQ.
Roger. HQ on the line.
Прорвемся. Куда мы денемся? Хрен этим тварям, а не наши шкуры. Лишь бы автомат не клинил. Да патронов хватило. А так прорвемся.
Because of the emission, it's impossible to establish comms during one.
Okay. Alright, listen up. Operation Fairway is being taken over by the USS. Is Major Dictator there?
Учтена каждая мелочь,
Yes.
мать их штабные. Это считается хорошая подготовка, когда из 10 только один выживает. Черт! Да мы даже в бой не вступили.
Roger.
Major, do you read me?
Major Degtyarev here. I read you.
Good. As of this moment, you are responsible for completing Operation Fairway.
Знал бы, что так
Volsky
обернется.
and the Stingray
Черт
squad will
возьми, сел
assist you.
вертолет. А
Report.
пусть бы и разжаловали, мне похрен.
I've managed to acquire documents about experiments carried out in the
В зоне
zone.
этой проклятой.
Furthermore, we've been contacted by a stalker who's been in the CNPP. His name is Strelok, and he's offered us his cooperation.
Roger. Accept his offer.
Вот, накачивали нас штабные, накачивали. Нет мы ничего хуже сталкеров, ага. А
Yes,
сами?
I have the
Ты
data,
оттуда
and
посмотришь?
Strelok's information
Некоторые
confirms it.
штабные суки-мутанты
The helicopters were hit by
запоем
anomalies after their locations changed during the emission. The anomaly map issued to the pilots turned out to be useless.
Главное не дрейфить.
That means we have until the
Не
next emission.
дрейфить, да.
You'll be collected
Тогда
together with the
все
stalker from
живыми отсюда
position
выберемся.
B28. Stingray squad will be evacuated with you. The birds are already in the air. Over and out.
You heard the news, fellas. When we go, stick together and keep the stalker alive. Any questions? Get ready to move. Major, can I have a word?
Достало. Как меня все достало.
Move out, squad. Would you look at that? The sons of bitches actually made it. You were right, Strelok.
Zombies!
Double back.
Лови гранату, урод!
About a dozen zombies in the building.
Move to the left and Every zombie in Pripyat will know we're coming. We've got to move faster. Run!
More zombies up ahead.
Stingray, where are you?
We're on the way.
Our orders are to take off if we come under attack, so hurry the hell up!
Roger that. We'll be there soon. Stay alert and follow orders. We're real close to the evacuation point. Let's move!
Those bastards again. Maybe we should go around the building.
There's no time. Check your weapons and fire at will. Fire at will. Go!
What was that?
Don't stop. Keep moving.
It's here.
Run.
Okay, run.
Major Detailer, if we're taking heavy fire from an unidentified enemy, we cannot hold out for long.
Shit! It's monolith fighters! Fire at will and move toward the choppers! Come on, boys!
Ложись, граната! Ёб твою!
To the choppers, go! Go! Go!
Сожри гранату!
Get in that chopper. I hope it will.
Получи, скотина! Бей их!
As a reward for successfully completing his investigation, Degtyarev was offered a promotion to colonel and the position of mission coordinator. He declined the opportunity to work at the HQ and submitted a personal request to be sent to the zone as the USS Permanent Observer. The information about the development of psi devices obtained by Degtyarev alerted USS commanders. All the information gathered on X-designated laboratories was removed from military archives and filed as top secret. All personnel working in the zone were ordered to prevent the disclosure of information about the laboratories at any cost. Several experimental samples were made on the basis of technical documents for Item 62. Following a set of test trials, it was decided not to go ahead with large-scale deployment of the weapon due to the high cost of ammunition. Nonetheless, it would be reasonable to assume that further development of the Gauss rifle is ongoing. Sultan and his gang left the Skadovsk to do their shady business elsewhere after their attempts to capture the ship failed. The ensuing feeling of relative safety among stalkers led to a massive increase in the number of artifacts sold to Beard, causing his business to boom, while the formerly quiet Skadovsk bar became as popular as the famous 100 Rads bar, despite being almost in the center of the zone. Following the destruction of the Bloodsucker lair, it's unlikely that anything could significantly change the state of affairs on the Skadovsk. The old ship became a temporary center of stability in the ever-changing world that is the Zone. A fragile balance was reached between freedom and duty squads at Yanov Station. Tired of the endless struggle, fighters of both factions started leaving their squads and joining the Free Stalkers. The scientific expedition, organized by Professors Herman and Ozersky, was a success. The data they collected facilitated the development of groundbreaking medicine and technology, which prompted the Ministry of Education to allocate additional funding for researching the Zone. Gary's stories about the Army's fate scared stalkers away from Pripyat. The few who dared to venture into the city ran into inexplicable phenomena, which added further dark strokes to an already gloomy picture of the dead city. The legend of the Oasis stopped being a legend. The identity of those who managed to find a way to the secret anomaly became an increasingly regular topic of conversation among stalkers. Despite this, the number of adventurers trying to find it remained high, something the bandits were quick to take advantage of, with constant offers to lead stalkers to the Oasis, which usually ended in muggings at a safe distance from stalker camps. Organized mercenary squads continued to be active in the Zone. their interest in the secret laboratories is becoming increasingly difficult for USS operatives to ignore. Attempts to establish the identity of the client who hired the mercenaries proved unsuccessful. The area around Yanov Station continues to attract growing numbers of stalkers. The lack of dangerous mutants and abundance of anomalous areas have led to the area being referred to as a treasure trove, with increasing regularity. Zulu returned to Duty's main base at the Rostock plant. Nobody knows what he discussed with the leader of Duty, General Voronin, but several days later he was spotted at the head of a large squad on its way to the center of the zone. Vano headed off to the Freedom-controlled military warehouses, but his cheerful personality and optimism quickly earned him the popularity they merited. Ultimately, he took charge of a small group of researchers involved in investigating anomalous areas. Senior Lieutenant Sokolov continued to take part in flying missions over the zone. During one such recon flight over Limansk, his aircraft was shot down by mercenaries. 2 weeks later, he was picked up by a patrol near the cordon. Within a month of his rescue, Sokolov had left the Air Force, joining a civil airline instead. Owl established contacts with clients outside the zone. He trades in information, and if rumors are true, there are regular reports sent directly to the USS. A group of stalkers was forced to seek shelter on Noah's old barge during a particularly powerful emission. When the barge was attacked by a horde of snorks afterwards, stalkers were forced to concede that the barge was as good a defense against mutants as anything they'd seen. Even more astonishing was a litter of pseudo-dog puppies that Noah himself led into battle against the snorks. Having found out about his friend's fates, Cardin gave up dreams of a stalker career. Having overcome his alcoholism, he moved to Yanov, where he partnered up with Nitro to set up a full-service repair shop. Both technicians gladly devote all their spare time to building a vehicle that could operate in the zone. Strelok passed on the information he obtained on his trip to the Chernobyl NPP to the USS commanders. This prompted the government to create a scientific institute for research of the Chernobyl anomalous area. Strelok took up the position of chief scientific consultant to the institute. When Colonel Kowalski, commander of the Stingray Group, returned from the zone, he was forced to explain the reasons for the failure of Operation Fairway. Following a dragged-out investigation and the brass's failed attempt to make him the fall guy, the colonel was finally given an honorable discharge.
This concludes our time in the Chernobyl exclusion zone for now. Our next destination is the metro tunnels beneath Moscow in the distant future year of 2033 in the aftermath of a nuclear war. See you there!
Взрывая мгновенье через сотни лет, мы растаем в пыли своих надежд, оставляя поколениям горький след. И в памяти лица близких нам людей, праздник красных флагов, звонкий смех детей. Все исчезло, остались слезы среди камней. Растворяя осколки грез, мы вспомним друг о былом. Тень ошибки из детских слез, с ней живем. Время жить, время
Thanks for playing.